Friends, I hope that you have understood my first video on the topic resource and development from geography. The second video is done on the same topic from the NCERT textbook page number 5 to 11 for class 10, that is from the topic land as resources to soil erosion and soil conservation. Land as resource. Land is an asset of finite magnitude. We live on land. We perform all our economic activities like agricultural activities, mining activities, construction of buildings, transports and communications, etc. Therefore, it is our bounden duty to use the available land with utmost care and judiciously. Major relief features of India. It is divided into plains, mountains and plateaus. In this, 43% of land is covered by plains provided for agricultural activities and 30% of land is mountains left for forests and wildlife. The third relief feature is plateau land. It is 27% of land utilized for mining activities as it has rich sources of mineral deposits. Land use pattern in India. The data given here is based on government report on land use pattern in India for the year 2008 and 9. 22.78% of land is under forest, but it is too lower than the desired 33% of total geographical areas according to the National Forest Policy of 1952. Land is not available for cultivation. It includes barren land and uncultivable wastelands. This is 8.61%. 5.5% land is used for buildings, roads, factories and other economic activities. Other uncultivated land includes fallow land. This is 3.38% of land is under permanent pasture grazing lands. Next one is 46.24% land is utilized for miscellaneous trees, crops, groves, that is coconut trees, but this is not included in net zone area. 4.17% of land is cultivable wasteland. This land is left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. Next one is fallow land. Current fallow land, it is left without cultivation for 1 or less than 1 agricultural year. This is 4.7% of land. Other than current fallow land is left uncultivated for the past 1 to 5 agricultural years. What is net zone area? That is NSA. And grass cropped area, that is GCA. Net zone area is the area where seeds are sown or crops grown, but it is counted only once. Grass cropped area. This is an area where seeds are sown more than once in an agricultural year, plus net zone area is called grass cropped area. Factors determine the land use pattern. There are 2 factors responsible for the land use pattern in India. What are they? They are physical factors and human factors. The physical factors are topography, which determines what economic activity we should adopt. For example, if the land is plain and fertile, then the land is utilized for agricultural activity. If the land is plateau with mineral deposits, then the land is used for mining activities. Chemical factors, land size and soil type also determine the land use pattern, such as pasture land, grazing land, miscellaneous trees, crops and so on. Next is human factors such as population, technology, capital, skill, culture, traditions. For example, according to the demand and supply of people, the land is utilized for urbanization, industrialization, investment on land, transport and communication, etc. What are the total geographical area of India? Out of this, how much land is used available in India? Total geographical area is 2.8 1.8 million square kilometer. However, land use data is available only for 93% of the total land mass in our country. The remaining 7% of land in the northeastern states of India, except Assam and some areas in Jammu and Kashmir, occupied by Pakistan and China, have not been surveyed. The present net zone area in India is only 54% of the total reporting area. The pattern of net zone area varies greatly from one state to another. In Punjab and Haryana, it is 80% and less than 10% Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Land degradation. We all know very well that 3/4 of the earth's surface is water and only 1/4 of the earth's surface is land. Out of this 1/4 of the land mass, some percent of land is unfit for human inhabitation, like hot or cold desert and thick forest, example Amazon forest. Therefore, very little and mass only available for. Unfortunately, this little and less mass area also now getting degraded by two factors. They are natural factors and human factors. Natural factors are soil erosion, tsunami, flood, drought, landslide. Human factors are mining, overgrazing, over-irrigation, urbanization, industrialization. It is led to forest deforestation. Let us discuss how the factors affect the lands. Large-scale soil erosion caused by running water and wind. Mining sites left deep scars or traces after excavations. Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are affected by overgrazing. Our over-irrigation leads to increase in salinity and alkalinity in the soil, example Punjab and Haryana. Urbanization and industrialization leads to deforestation and reduced agricultural lands. Sewage from chemical industries, dust from ceramic industries deposited in the neighboring lands. These are the main factors for the land degradation. Land conservation measures. Soil erosion can be prevented by ending deforestation and beginning afforestation. Practicing terrace farming in the hilly regions. Mining activities should be controlled. Proper disposal of industrial waste and harmful chemicals prevent the land from degradation. The next one is soil as a resource. The uppermost layer of the earth's crust, made up of granules of rock particles by the process of weathering and tearing of rocks, is called soil. Soil is a living system and the most important renewable natural resource. It is essential for plant growth and supports other living things on the earth. It takes millions of years to form a few centimeters in depth. Soil profile. Soil has 4 layers from the bottom to the top. This is called soil profile. The layers are parent rock or bedrock, substratum, subsoil and topsoil. The lowest layer is parent rock or bedrock. In this layer, the rock is unweathered state. The layer above the parent rock is known as substratum. In this layer, the rock is begun to weathering. Third layer is subsoil, which contains sand, silt and clay. The uppermost layer of the soil is called topsoil. It contains humus and vegetation. Factors responsible for soil formation. There are 2 factors determine the formation of soil. They are natural factors and human factors. Natural factors: running water, wind, time, plants and animals. Human factors are mining activity, quarrying, digging, plowing, nuclear testing. Weathering and climate decides the rates of weathering. Running water and wind responsible for the removal and depositional process of topsoil. It is continuous and simultaneous process. Vegetation determines the amount of humus in the soil. Earthworms, burrow animals, ants loosen the soil. Types of soil. There are 6 types of soil found in India based on their color, texture, structure, nature, age, physical and chemical properties. They are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, arid soil and forest mountain soil. Let us discuss one by one. Alluvial soil. This soil is alluvial soil. It is the most widespread and most important soil in India. This soil has adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid, lime with sand, silt and clay, which are ideal for paddy, wheat, sugarcane, etc. This soil is based on size and location, classified as duras, chars and terai. These are bigger in size and found from the river valley to Piedmont plains. Besides size and location, these soils are further classified into Bangar and Khadar. What is Bangar and Khadar? Bangar is a older alluvial soil and Khadar is a younger, newer alluvial soil. Bangar is less fertile, whereas Khadar is very fertile soil. Bangar is locally known as Concord, which composed of calcareous deposits. These soils found in the northern plains and stretches in the states Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Assam and West Bengal. This land is drained by the perennial rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra. The soils are extended in Rajasthan and Gujarat through a narrow corridor and in the eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri rivers. Next one is black soil. These soils are derived from the Deccan trap, that is basalt. It is black in color and is popularly known as reger. Reger means cotton. Thus it is ideal for cotton growing. This soil is formed out of lava flow and made up of clayey material which helps the soil to hold moisture. This soil contains rich nutrients such as calcium carbonate CaCO3, magnesium, potash and lime, poor content of phosphoric acid and develop deep cracks during summer, which helps proper aeration in the soil. It is sticky in wet and shrinky when dry. These soils are found in Maharashtra, western Madhya Pradesh and in Gujarat. Next one is red and yellow soil. These soils formed from crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It appears reddish in color due to diffusion of iron particles in the soil. It looks yellow when it is hydrated form. This soil is found in parts of Deccan Plateau, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the middle Ganga plain and Piedmont zone of the western Ghats. Laterite soil. The word laterite is derived from the Latin word later, which means bricks. This soil develops in the region of high temperature and heavy rainfall. Due to high temperature, microorganisms like bacteria get destroyed, which resulted with low humus. This soil is found in the hills of the Deccan, Karnataka, Kerala, Odisha and parts of Assam and Meghalaya. Red laterite soils in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala are more suitable for cashew nuts. Next one is arid soil. This soil color is range from red to brown color. It is sandy in texture, saline in nature. This soil is lack in moisture and humus. This soil mostly found in western Rajasthan and arid areas of Punjab and Haryana. Forest mountain soil. This soil is characterized by the deposition of organic materials derived from the vegetative cover. It is found in Jammu and Kashmir, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, eastern ranges of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Next one is soil erosion. Removal of topsoil by some natural agents like weather and wind is called soil erosion. These are two types of erosion called gully erosion and sheet erosion. Now let us understand what is gully erosion and sheet erosion. Gully erosion, when the running water cuts through the clayey soils and forms deep cuts the channels called gullies. This erosion breaks the land into small parts which becomes unfit for cultivation and any economic activities. Next one is the sheet erosion. In the Chambal Basin, water flows as a sheet over a large area down a slope, causes sheet erosion. Soil conservation. Afforestation, construction of check dams and contour plowing, terrace cultivation are some methods to check soil erosion. Large fields are divided into stripes of grass grown between the crops. This breaks up the force of the wind. This method is known as stripe cropping. Rows of trees called shelter belts contributes significantly to the stabilization of sand dunes in desert regions. We should avoid over grazing and over irrigation. Some measures for soil conservation. With this, the lesson gets over. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye. Have a nice day.